Well, it sure brought the queens.
But it didn't bring the dead. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Fear Review. I'm William.
And I'm Amy.
And today we're going to review Queens of the Dead. We'll give you a short synopsis, give you a spoiler-free review, get into some spoilers, and then let you know what we're going to do next week. Queens of the Dead follows a group of drag performers in New York City who suddenly find themselves dealing with a strange outbreak that starts turning people into zombies. While they're getting ready for their show, the chaos outside keeps getting worse, and they end up trying to figure out what's going on and how to get out of the city, maybe even make it to Manhattan before things completely fall apart.
This one has Nina West in it.
Yes.
I know her from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, I know a lot of people looking at me, assume I'm very much of a Clint Eastwood type, but I too have seen, I think, almost every, RuPaul's Drag Race episode.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Trixie and Katya. They're my favorites.
Yeah, Jenny got you into it.
Yes.
And then it turned into you would watch it at lunch, and so I'd sit down and watch it with you. And I've seen every one of them. I actually enjoy them because, mine and my family's love language is just making fun of each other, and that's half of what the show is. So that's why I liked it.
Oh, drag queen banter is everything.
Yeah, no, them just get roasting each other the whole time.
They do it so well.
Yeah, that's my funny bone right there.
And they do this in the movie. The drag queen banter in this movie, I mean, the person who wrote this, whatever, they've also had to have seen Drag Race or are in the scene or something, because I feel like, I don't know. I felt like it was spot on with their roast and the way that they talked. As soon as the movie started, I looked at you as like, Slay Queen.
Yeah, it's mostly comedy. I would say it's they call it a horror comedy, but I'd say it's a comedy with a tiny bit of horror.
A baby bit.
Yeah. But it can fall into the horror category, I think, because it's actually directed by Tina Romero, who is George Romero's daughter, who, of course, is the father of all zombie movies. He, did Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Survival of the Dead. He created the zombie genre, basically.
Yeah, and they have a line in the movie that's "We're coming to get you, Barbara."
And also Tom Savini is in it. He plays the mayor, just he's like a quick little cameo in it on a video, which is a funny part. But of course he worked on George Romero's movie, so it was a cool little call out there too.
And we met George Romero.
He was he was at the conventions when we first started going to him.
He was sweet.
Yeah,
he's like a grandpa.
Yeah, just super nice guy. He's 6'5", just big guy, but just super sweet, the whole time. So
yeah, so I mean, I was entertained by this movie. I don't know if people that don't watch Drag Race will be entertained, because they might not think it's as funny, as I do or we do.
I don't know if there's a lot of references that they might not get. I don't know, but I
just don't know if they'll enjoy that humor, and maybe they would. Maybe you don't have to watch Drag Race to just enjoy their humor, because I mean, I think it's funny, and there's just a lot of call outs. They're making fun of, I don't know, I guess, is it like a cisgender person?
Yeah.
They're making fun of that. They make fun of, people in the LGBTQ community. So it was just kind of, I don't know, everybody's free game in this movie as far as getting teased. But there's not much horror to it.
No, there's not. I think we started counting. I think there's 5 times somebody gets bit. And most of those times you don't really see anything.
It's a zombie movie.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not many times that you actually see anything.
Yeah.
And even what you would call jump scares in the movie, which they're used for comedic effect more than they are to actual scare. So
yeah, it's like watching Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. And even the when they turn into zombies, their look is very drag. Like they're shiny.
Oh, they are on point.
Yeah, they're shiny. They're not dead looking. They've got like a dull color to their whole
Well,
body.
some of them are kind of green, but I mean, they still have a fit. You know?
Yeah,
Their lips are still done. They still have some glitter.
Yeah, they're very glittery. They're very
Which I liked all of that.
Yeah, they're still very glamorous looking, even once they're a zombie. So
walking in their heels.
Yeah,
they're walking that catwalk.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your rating? What would you give it?
Mine is between a streamer and a renter. It's definitely worth watching for free if you can stream it. But if you're a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, like I am, then I'd say rent it. Because it's just funny if you want to watch a comedy.
So for me, I'd say it's a streamer.
I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
Yeah, me too.
Spoilers. I don't know if there's a whole lot of spoilers.
One of the funny parts of the movie, they're racing to get to their car. This two people that are kind of stuck in the city, and she's like, "Oh, we need to get to Barbara," and one of them's like, "Oh, is that your sister?" And she's like, "No, it's my car, or my Impala." And then the other lady's like, "Oh, sweet, not a Subaru, nice." One of the things that, and I don't even know why I had said this. I guess we were just texting Jenny, letting her know we were going to be doing this. And I said, well, they better have a death drop in there or, it's not going to be worth it. They actually do reference that they don't have one, but there's a scene where Nita West, who I was never a fan of in RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's because she's more Broadway, and that's not...
Exactly.
That's not your cup of tea.
Very camp, very theater, very...
but it works for this movie.
But it absolutely works. She was really good in the movie. But she, falls off this ledge, saving one of the other drag queens, and dies. But right before she dies, she's like, well, I finally got my death drop.
Yeah, because she's like a tall, bigger kind of drag queen. She's not a dancer. Like some of these drag queens, they do those death drops. Like they're just falling and it's amazing. She's not that kind. So it was kind of funny that that's what she said. But I was a little disappointed because I too was hoping for some like fierce death drops or... I don't know. Or they death drop onto a zombie or something.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, like something like that.
There wasn't a whole lot of performing in the movie, which I kind of was hoping I'd see more performing, and then with zombies coming in.
They had a little bit of that at the end.
Okay, that was fierce. But I liked the end.
At the end, they do, I think they do try to make some commentary, right? Because they start sprinkling in these little things where they'll one zombie that they have in a cage, one of the drag queens calls him and is like, come on, just pick up, and he actually picks up and starts acting like he's gonna talk. So and then later on you see him walking around and all the zombies are just looking at their phones, and then at the very, very end, kind of why I brought this up was they not even meaning to, I think they were finally just okay, let's have some fun, and they put on some music. And it draws all the zombies in dancing. And so it was is it kind of talking about the club culture and being kind of zombified by your phone and stuff like that. But that's where you get the scene that you were talking about where so they just start dancing and they start getting dressed up and stuff like that. So,
yeah, and they make weapons out of stuff that they have there. They break off high heels and they're using the heel part of the high heel to make a club that they can and they get all dressed up and play good music so that they can escape.
Yeah.
One lady gets hit in the leg with an axe. She doesn't die, but it's because the guy's trying to hit the zombie that's in the club, and he misses the zombie. The zombie dodges it, and it hits a lady that's not a zombie in the leg, and so she's down. But her girlfriend or fiance comes to rescue her, and she gets killed in a pretty gnarly kind of way.
Oh, the rat scene?
Yeah. I was ugh. It's all of these rats have the disease.
Yeah, they're zombified. They're old.
And she pretty much covered in them.
Yeah. And she goes to die. So she's going to help them get off the island. They're going to get a ferry but it's a co-op
Which
ferry.
The password is labia.
That's what I was going to say. So she dies and she electrocutes herself to kill all the rats. And she's the password's labia. And then one of the was it?
It was the straight white.
The straight white guy was like, okay, labia. I don't know what that is, but blah, blah, blah.
Can you remember that word? So yeah, like I said, they just make fun of everybody in this movie, which
I like how they handled the straight white character too. He's like the brother of one of the like the club owner, basically, who's
he's a club owner's brother-in-law. His sister's a lesbian in a relationship with the club owner.
Yeah, and they're trying to have a kid, and like the lesbian couple, and but they could have very easily taken a lot of like low blow swipes like at that character. But what I like is it's like you said, it's kind of free for all. Like they make fun of him, but they give him, like, he's one of the first ones that kind of catches on to stuff, and that's why he throws the axe.
Yeah.
But he's a great character too. And they
don't make him overly like mean.
No, not at all. Not at all. But you see him like listening, I think, to like conservative podcasts and stuff like that. So it's all
like when he's going into the bathroom, he's like, a male coming in with male parts.
Yeah. But he like in talking to her at the end when they find out that she's pregnant, he's like, I don't care what if he's a he, a her, or a them, or whatever. I'm gonna love them, and he's like, but I'm gonna teach them to plumb because they need to know
because he's a plumber.
Because he's a plumber.
Yeah.
And when they're trying to decide who's gonna go to try to catch this stuff, they're like, draw the short straw, or they're kind of doing that, but it's like them grabbing lipstick and like doing that, and like who has the short who
has the shortest lipstick whenever they push it up. I don't know. It's like it's trying to like teach you some things and try to get people, to show them the open-mindedness and stuff, but it's not shoved down your throat. And it's done with humor to where you could watch it and go, oh, okay, I understand,
And there is obviously a story about being yourself. Like one of the main characters is a drag queen and kind of ran off and stopped being a drag queen, and that's kind of like learning why he did that. And it's all about him, feeling uncomfortable, not feeling that he was worth it or worth all of kind of the accolades he was getting, and having some issues there. But and him learning to be himself,
accept himself.
So
and don't listen to those inner demons.
Yeah. Was it inner saboteur?
Yeah, your inner saboteur. But I love zombie movies, so I was a little disappointed that there wasn't more zombies.
More zombie action.
Yeah, like Shaun of the Dead. That movie's hilarious. I love that movie. But it has a lot of zombies and like blood and gore to it too. It's
hard not to make that comparison because Shaun of the Dead is the creme de la creme of zombie horror comedy. Like they just nailed it the best you can. And it was a love letter to George Romero's movies too. So there's no way we were not going to compare it to that.
No way.
But yeah, it's overall it's good. It's got a good story. It's still in it. So for me, yeah, it's a streamer.
And I'm like between a renter and a streamer.
But you lean more.
But renter. I lean more towards renter because it was. I was entertained. I laughed pretty much the whole movie.
Yeah. So this Friday, we're going to be reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yes.
Which neither of us were huge. It's not like we disliked the first one, but we're not a huge fan. So we'll see.
I was a little bored in the first one, but we didn't play the game. I mean, our nieces and nephew who played that game, they really, I think, enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. And that game was a little after our time too. So
we're more Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, we're more Mario Brother. Okay, well, thanks for joining us today. Check out our episode on Friday where we review Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Thanks, bye. Thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe. And tune in next time to The Fear Review, where the fear is family.